Alrighty, welcome back everyone, it is LaughNgamez here. I finally managed to wrangle up some more replays, so here's another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. We have ourselves a Terran versus Zerg on the map Cactus Valley. Without further ado, spawning up the top right hand side of the map, the red Terran player playing for True Esport. A bit ironic here, it is souL. souL is a, I guess could be said an upcoming Polish Terran player, not having really too many results in the past, but lately, sort of since Legacy of the Void, he has shown some very consistent games, so it's going to be great to see him going up against his opponent in the top left, the teal Zerg, playing for Team Psystorm. It is true. And that's why I say it's a bit ironic there, because souL is playing for True Esport. So, we've got just a standard hatchery first versus True. On the map Cactus Valley, you'd really expect nothing less. Sometimes Zergs open up with early pools and TvZ on this map, but usually it's just the standard openings for both players. souL, though, I believe, did take gas first here, so he is going to have a bit of extra gas for this, so just going to likely go for a faster factory follow-up with this. It's really going to depend what he goes on into. I'm not too familiar with his style of play, but of course, True's just droning for now. And there we go, orbital on the way for souL, and now he's getting a reactor out. Interestingly enough, he's not going for a Reaper Scout here. I guess he's confident enough, maybe to go for some macro, or maybe he's going to go for some timing attack versus True here, just to try and win the game. He doesn't really care what True's going for. Either that or he's going to play some style he's very confident with, or maybe he just wants to get out Hellions quicker or something like that. So I assume he's going to make 2 Marines out of this barracks here, and then he's going to swap it over to this factory. So not a super uncommon build, just a bit uncommon to skip the Reaper here. He may be able to pick off an Overlord with these 2 Marines, but not too likely. True, sort of taking a bit of an odd path with this Overlord, not going super straight across for a direct scout. Instead, he's opting to try and take a path that will allow him to most likely see a Reaper or an SCV, and then just secure himself in this great spot for Zerg, which they can pretty much see everything the Terran player's up to. So this factory is going to swap around with this barracks once 2 more Marines are out, so 4 Marines for souL. He's now getting a starport, and I'm tempted to say that this is looking like it's going to be a Hellbat push versus True. The handful of Marines, the reactor on the factory and starting to make Hellions while continuously making Marines out of this barracks. Now, it's possible that souL is going to be able to pick off this Overlord here, and that would actually be such a nice pickoff, so he's going to start chasing it down. This would be very, very nice for souL here. Now, True has seen these Hellions, he's seen the Marine count with this Overlord, so it was quite a decent scout. So I believe True is going to be expecting a Hellbat timing like this. He's throwing down a Roach Warren, which is very safe of him, only on 2 bases so far. And so, yeah, this is the Hellbat build coming out of souL. It's a very nice, strong push here. Just having the Marines now. This is a bit of an early push. Some Terran players have been going sort of just for Hellion openings into stims, so they'll have sort of a low Marine count, but a quick stim, and then they'll use the Hellbats to sort of buffer so the Marines have large DPS. Instead, souL is opting to go for the quicker push here. But True has scouted this. He's even gotten Overlord speed, so he's going to be aware of this. I believe he just misses that Medivac there with his vision. Or maybe he did see it there. He sort of turned the Overlord around for a second. Seeing some more Hellions rally out, so he's not really aware of this push. And now we're seeing souL likely going to be following this up with a Banshee, but some Ling counter harassment is going to be coming out. But the question right now is whether True is going to be able to hold this push. The Hellions, not actually in Hellbat mode yet, just transforming, but they did actually get some decent splash damage off versus these Roaches. The Medivac staying alive for a while, but it looks like True's going to have enough to shut down this push. Most of the Hellbats are going down, instead they're just opting to chase drones. But True has held this attack, and now souL is going to be in a bit of a rough position. He's down on workers, but not in a terrible position. True invested into all these Roaches. The Banshees, the Hellbats that are, or the Hellions that are coming out, are going to be able to sort of shut down any counter damage here, and True is just on 2 bases, so it's not a terrible situation. We have a third base now just coming down for True, so souL's not in a terrible spot right now. Losing those supply depots sort of did hurt him. And there's one overlord for True getting everything. And there's always the possibility that souL will be able to follow this up with mech. The supply depot is going to be killed, not canceled. That's a bit unfortunate here. But the Banshee's coming in. It's going to shoo away these roaches that are so weak. Maybe even get a killer too. There we go. True targeting, or souL targeting down those weakened roaches. Possibly going to get another. And every unit matters right now. This is just something True won't have for defense later on. And we actually have another Banshee on the way for souL. So he's committing a bit to this. Forcing True into Spore Crawlers. He's getting up a lair for an Overseer, possibly for some other tech later on, but for now likely just for an Overseer. Cloak is just going to be finishing up right now, so he will be able to start to sort of shoot these queens away. Maybe he could, no, it's not likely he could deny the third base. And now he's just going to run into the Spore Crawler. There's the 4 queens, so this Banshee needs to be careful taking a large amount of damage there. And there's actually another Spore finishing up. He's going to fly right over that. He needs to be careful here. No workers at the third base yet, and we have a third CC on the way for souL, so not terrible timing here. Both players were sort of delayed here. That is a bit of a funky wall from souL, though, coming out. I guess that's the I need supply depots right away wall. And I'm not too bothered. He does have these Hellions, so run-bys right now aren't too big of a factor. And we are actually going to see Bio coming out of souL here. He's getting up double eBay. He's getting up Stimpack before he throws down any more barracks. He's getting them up just now. So not the best economy to be building Bio off of, and it's a bit odd how he committed to so many Hellions, but this Hellbats can be very useful for later pushes if True does decide to go into that sort of Baneling style. For now though, True is content to be going into this Roach Raptor, and this is a bit unfortunate for souL. He may be expecting True, like so many Zergs, to sort of just have the Roaches for defense and go into Lings, but so souL is actually getting a reactor. Now it's possible that he's just going to swap this over for his barracks, and I think that's most likely. But he is going to need to start producing tanks at some point to deal with this. Now we actually see a bit of a Banshee Hellbat push moving in here. There's actually a good amount of roaches here, but the space is going to be under fire. I guess souL's just choosing to throw away these Hellbats, sort of. Trying to kill off some drones, and he has killed off 6, so it's certainly been worth it. More drones rallying in. These Hellbats getting off great shots. 10 drones have gone down. I'll make that 11. So a very good kickoff. souL throwing away all those units, but it was sort of worth it. And now he's transferring some of those Hellbats away. They're going to manage to escape, turn into Hellions, possibly go for run-bys later on. And now we see souL's production coming into souL. I'm sorry, I'm saying souL a bit like Korea, which I guess is the same sort of thing. I'm just trying to think if they needed to be differentiated at all. So we have 1-1 on the way for souL, as I was saying. He's getting up 1-1, but True's already finished his 1-1 here, so True is now on his way to 2-2, but there will be a time in which they're equal on upgrades, so maybe souL will be able to make something happen here. He's getting up siege tanks. Double Liberator production is very nice. Stimpack finished, combat shield on the way, but for now True does have quite a scary army. Now this could be a bit of a pain for True. souL has expanded to his third base here, his sort of natural Terran third base, but he's opting to expand towards True, and True is opting to expand towards souL, and now this could be a bit of a nuisance for him. We see these 2 Liberators actually sieging up, shooting away, but actually all but one of them go down. Well, there was only 2, but yeah, one of them goes down, the other one weakened an incredible amount here. Trying to shoot an Overlord, but a Liberator trying to kill a quick Overlord just does not happen here. And we see Ravagers and Roaches moving out for souL. He's not in position here. He's bringing down siege tanks. They're sieging up. This Bio doesn't have combat shield, though. Loses the medivac. They're very weak. These Banshees are doing a good bit of work, though, but he needs to be careful not to lose these. They're very critical for preventing True to push in when he's just got these Roaches and Ravagers. Now, there's no queens up here yet. Okay, True is bringing these queens up, so these Banshees aren't going to be able to get much done here. And now we actually see souL is opting for a drop here. I sort of expected him to sort of tank push towards True's force base, but instead he's opting to put a large amount of his army into these drops. And these 2 players are sort of close. It's actually pretty awkward here for them. I mean, They're basically a stone's throw away from each other's base. If they were both Zergs, their creep would pretty much be touching here. So souL's tucked into this base pretty well. It's not likely that True can push in. The question is how much counterattack damage can souL get with this push. There's a large amount of links for True, as it does look like he's going to be intending to go for this. But there is actually no melee upgrade for these Zergans, so they are going to be quite weak versus this bio. And souL is tucking himself in here. He's trying to get the best trades possible. He's killing off a good amount of these, and now he's going to dive into the main base here. Now, the Spire is on the way for True, so he's going to be able to get at these mutas. He's going to be able to sort of have positioning where he didn't once before. souL picking off a Roach for a Marine, a good trade there, but he needs to get out of here. These 12 mutas are now on the way. There's no missile turrets up for souL here. He's just getting up some more barracks, so he's actually been on 3 barracks production for a long time. He's getting up a 4th base, which is very nice, but he needs to be prepared for these mutas. But actually a very nice push for souL with this bio. These bases being a stone's throw away. When True was out of position, he managed to kill off this base here. He kept the units in both sort of both pushes alive, so that's very nice. But I would like to see souL get off this creep, sort of pull back a bit. He did see a muta, so he should be prepared for this missile turret. Thor's on the way. This game is looking fantastic for souL right now. Not necessarily the greatest start for him, but he's sort of making this work right now. He's now got 2-2 finished up, so both players are going to be on even upgrades, while True sort of actually down a bit as he is transitioning into this Lingbane style away from the Roach Ravager, as it sort of loses efficiency. So now True does just have no melee upgrades on these Zergs. He's going to have +1 soon, but that will still give True an advantage here. Missile turrets going up, defending this planetary will be very important for this base. We now see these mutas moving in, but there is Liberators, there's bio, there's missile turrets. souL should not take too much damage here. However, this one missile turret is pushing away these mutas, but True could get on top of that. souL needs to be prepared for this. Pulling these SCVs to repair that turret if True engages it could be nice, but instead True's being kept busy. These 2 Banshees, and True actually needs the mutas to clean these up, so it looks like the 4th base for True is going to go down. So right now we're going to have a 4-base Terran player versus a 3-base Zerg player. Restarting that hatchery immediately might have been a bit preemptive there for True, and souL actually gets the kill there. True not paying attention. That is absolutely massive. Yes, these Banshees are going to go down, but they have done their work. +2 just finishing up for souL there. I thought he already had that done. That must have been my mistake. He already had the armor done, but not the weapons. A bit backwards there usually. But now we see souL's pushing out for this base. His mutas, or his medivacs are getting shot by the mutas a fair bit, but this 4th is going to be in a lot of trouble here. True's sort of going to have to go around here. Now 2 siege tanks are going to be caught out of a position. A Thor almost got out of position, and now it looks like True's actually opting for a base trade. He doesn't even have banding speed that it is just going to finish up. So the production of souL is going to be compromised. He's going to have to start rallying as much as he can into his main base here. But he does have this planetary. If he sets up a few more missile turrets around it and pulls with SCVs, the trades which a planetary can make are fantastic. We now see the base of souL though is compromised, but now we see so is True's base. souL's just stutter stepping in. He's killing off absolutely everything. This Thor needs to be careful though. He doesn't want to lose this right now. It's actually going to go down to these Zerglings here, or it looks like, yeah, it is. souL's sort of stutter stepping with that Thor, and losing that's going to be very important when it comes down to a base trade versus Mutalist, as mutas have such high efficiency in situations like this. We now see souL sort of panicking. He's cluing in here. He's throwing up so many missile turrets. He's floating a large amount of money, so as long as he has SCVs, if he can re-secure production, and that's what he's thinking. souL thinking very quick in this base trade. He is going to need to rebuild supply depots, and he's doing that. He's focused right now on getting his production back up. These mutas, their numbers are sort of not necessarily dwindling a large amount, but every muta that gets picked off matters. And right now, True has no bases. He's actually going to be getting close to being eliminated here. There's no workers, and so True's actually being revealed. Is there any drones left? There's 1 drone left for True. He kept it out to the side. He has enough for a hatchery. This is very important for True. Eventually, he is going to have to sort of be prepared for this, though. He only has this extractor. Another one. If True doesn't build a hatchery soon, he's going to be eliminated. He actually has nothing left. What's left for True? Did he build a building? I don't think so. He's being revealed. I guess he built an extractor or something somewhere. And now this base is actually being engaged by True here. I'm actually not sure. Where's the building for True? I'm sorry, I don't usually pull up the the Pockies. He doesn't have a structure. Shouldn't he be eliminated here? This is interesting. Oh, he's got a spore crawler that doesn't show up on the production tab. That'll do it. That's keeping true in this game right now. Okay, so now we see this big engagement going down. souL's sort of vainly scratching in, but there is a large chunk of this bio right now, and it seems to be hanging on. These siege tanks are raining down on top of this army, and it looks like souL's going to be able to take it. All of his sort of production was taken out there, but he managed to sort of buy time, and he forced True into that position in which he had no choice but to take an engagement. Very well played by True. Sorry about having to pull up the overlay there. I was just sort of a bit confused with no extractors or anything on the map. Both players trying their best to win that base trade, but you know the old saying, never base trade a Terran. That went very well for souL there right at the end, that planetary. That his sort of spread out production helped him so much. If True was sort of a 5 or 6 base Zerg, it might have gone better for him, but he was sort of stuck on those few bases. He didn't have much of a choice there. Now I believe True did have a drone sort of over here, and he did have that one drone alive, but he couldn't have really pulled back. Solo Terran player can always rebuild much quicker than the Zerg. So if you guys have enjoyed that cast, that was a very impressive game by souL bringing it back here. And so if you enjoyed the cast, feel free to leave a like. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to subscribe. I'm always trying to put out as many casts as I can whenever I can find good replays, or if you have any casting feedback, feel free to let me know. I shall see you guys next time.